there's a sign hangs up, and it says, "A Marine who places integrity above all else can do little wrong." That's been a soul-searching kind of statement for me over the past couple of years. And I contrast that statement now that I'm in recruiting school to the statements people make that my recruiter lied to me, or better yet, Marines never lie, cheat, or steal. We know that is not true. This is important to us here as we're about to embark on our mission as recruiters to keep this in mind, because one little slip up could cost us our career. And the temptation, on mission day is so easy just to kind of overlook a kid's asthma, or maybe kind of forge a document, sign a signature. Don't do it, it's not worth it. Dishonesty is a growing problem in the recruiting corps, not just in the Marine Corps, but in the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force as well. First, let's look at the problem of dishonesty. Out of our service branch, there's one recent story that really stands to mind. A 33-year-old staff sergeant, Brian Cunningham, recently got caught. He's being charged with 7 felonies, to include pimping, kidnapping, and sex with a minor. The situation, he was caught in a car with an 18 and a 19-year-old guy and this 14-year-old who admits to having sex with all 3 of them. He furthermore tried to coerce her into going down to LA to continue this, this ring of prostitution to draw people in the Marine Corps. How that works, I don't really understand. A Hemet Police Lieutenant, Joe Navarre, said of this event, quote, "It's not proven, but when you look at it, this is a grown man, a Marine staff sergeant. Why would he be taking them out to have sex with a 14-year-old girl?" Good question. Though this is probably the top of the list of horrible events that smear the image of the Marine Corps, other service branches have it far worse. Take the Army, for example, who recently had an ABC News investigation performed. They equipped students for 10 visits to offices in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. One student posed as a drug-addicted dropout, and on film, they captured this Army recruiter just forging documents and lying every bit of paperwork he needs to get this kid in. There's also outrageous claims that the war in Iraq is over and they're not sending people there anymore. The fighting has stopped. We all know this is simply not true. There's also a failure to adapt discharge that they spoke of. I found an interesting quote. Jim Picton, a GI rights counselor of the War Registers League, shared the following in a document titled "Recruiter's Lie." One of my favorite examples, it's a quote by the way, one of my favorite examples was the caller who was told by the recruiter that if you don't like the Army after you've been in basic training for about 2 weeks, you just talk to your drill sergeant and a discharge can be arranged. The caller, who seemed intelligent enough, said he did just that. The drill sergeant responded, "I own your ass. Get out of my face." Lastly, there's the consequences of lying. Staff Sergeant Mann, a career recruiter here at this school, said, quote, "As a recruiter, if I lie, I'm not doing myself a favor, or that person a favor. For example, if I promise a kid $25,000 and he does not get it, word will get back to the community. That will damage my credibility in the community and hinder future work." Furthermore, we give ammunition to these organizations like the War Resisters League and the Committee to Oppose Militarism and the Draft. We're just putting rounds in their weapon and shooting ourselves in the foot as we try to sell honor, courage, commitment, and all these intangibles. We look like hypocrites if we're not actually carrying them out in our daily lives. And if that's not enough, Chapter 6, Paragraph 4, Line A, Point 1 of our BRC says, quote, "Personal misconduct requires the Marine to be relieved for cause." That's a career ender right there. Okay, we've talked about dishonesty and some of the problems. Now let's look at the solution. To me, it's quite simple. Just don't lie. Maintain your integrity. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines integrity as a firm adherence to a core of especially moral or artistic values. We've gone over this. We've had our honor courage or our core values classes, and if we just adhere to those, kind of get that refresher, we have the material now. We'll have pamphlets and tons of it surrounding us. We're going to be fine. This is a restoration of the natural order. This is how things are supposed to be in the Marine Corps. So if we don't lie, the root problem is gone. We're not just simply pulling the dandelion up and leaving the weed in place so that it can grow back later and haunt us. The temptation will be great, but we can overcome that with willpower. So what does it take? Well, willpower, active vigilance, resolve. And the cool thing is it doesn't cost any money, just a tremendous amount of effort. If we do this, just imagine what the Marine Corps will be like. We're not editing, a movie and showing a montage. We're living it out daily. And those are the things that are truly going to attract people. And it might not happen all at once. We might not make a mission, a month or two. We might get rent really hard. But in the end, I think that's worth it, as long as we don't compromise our integrity. As we do that, we're a hypocrite. Who's going to want to listen to us when we walk into the high school? If we embrace this, we preserve our careers, we reduce the stories out there, and we don't have a guilty conscience. The results are immediate for us, and over time, collectively, for the Marine Corps. As Thomas Paine said, character is much easier kept than recovered. All that being said, we have the problem and we have the solution. Again, we've covered what I believe to be the greatest problem in the Marine Corps, and that is dishonesty, in all its varying shades of gray. And the greatest solution, integrity. As Sue Nieder pleaded when interviewed by ABC News in their investigation, quote, 90% of you are going to be putting their lives on the line for our country. Tell them the truth. That's all, just tell them the truth. Quote. Thank you.